The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien coming to you live from TFNN, 9:06 a.m. Monday morning. We got about 25 minutes to go until the start of trading, and we got a mixed market out there so far. You're talking about an S&P. We were lower right out of the gate last night. Taking a look at the chart, you accelerate on the S&Ps from a price point of about 44.28. We opened basically where we closed at on Friday action. You accelerate right out of the gate to about 44.12. Not too dramatic of a move. You're only talking about 14 S&P points in the context of where we've been recently. You rebound, we're within about 4 points of where we were last night. Tech stocks slightly in the green. You see the acceleration we got overnight as well. You almost make it down to 15,000. Currently, we're trading positive by 6 points on the session in the NASDAQ 100. We're trading at 15,099 right now. Jumping over to the Dow, you get the Dow negative by about 65 points, just above 35,000 yet again, 35,026. Russell this morning negative by 1 point at 2243. Bitcoin, how about it? You go from Thursday at 37,300. You end last week at about 43,000. We start this week at about 45,000. Quite the bid for Bitcoin. Crude, you don't talk about an acceleration. We're going to get to gold next, my goodness, right? But crude falling lower as well. We're down about $2 right now at 66.31. You were as low as about 65.15 in the crude contract. And my goodness, look at that drop off on gold, folks. You opened last night. Now, gold, we're trading at 1,800 coming into Friday, right? We got jobs report Friday coming out. Gold trades lower to about 36, 37, almost $40 lower on Friday. You open on the futures, and by 6:45 p.m. Eastern time, man, you talk about a flash sell-off. Gold goes from $17.60. How about trading down almost $80, folks, on gold? You spiked to $16.77.90 last night. You see the volume coming into that contract Sunday evening. Doesn't take that long, though. By about 10 o'clock last night, you were back to about $17.40. I mean, that's a $60, $65 pop off the lows. Now you're trading about $17.44. You're only negative by about $18 on the session. And I say only because it was looking pretty dire last night. My dad, Tom O'Brien, he's got a new gold report out this morning. If you're in the gold market, check it out under the newsletter tab on TFNN.com. And one of the things he's talking about in there, giving a little bit of a glimpse for those subscribers, but it's common knowledge. I mean, you get a flash low out there. There's a lot of stops that got hit on there. Maybe that clears it out. Maybe that clears out all those stops in there. You get a clean market. We will find out, folks. But gold down about $18 so far this morning. Silver. Talk about some volatility as well on silver. Silver spikes from about $24 and change, we'll call it, down to $22.29. Since that, we've recoiled. We're down about 41 cents on the session right now on silver. And we jump to notes and bonds. Last night, we make a low of 133.27. Right now, you're talking about a 10-year. We're yielding 1.28%. Almost flat. We're positive by two ticks right now in the 10-year at 134.02. The 30-year is flat at 164.06, and we come in and check out the VIX this morning and the volatility index. Market making basically all-time highs on Friday. VIX closing with a 16.14 handle. We're trading right now at 17.06 with the VIX coming into Monday action. All right, what else we got going on? Let's jump around to some of the FANG stocks as we kick off the market action. You get the NASDAQ. Only index actually in the green right now. Amazon shares basically flat, trading at 33.44. We take a look at Microsoft shares. Barely positive on Microsoft. You were as high as 290.67 last night on Microsoft. Google shares, same thing. All the big FANG stocks basically coming into the market flat. You got the S&P within a few points of flat. You got the NASDAQ 100 within 7 points, and the Dow percentage-wise, right? You're only talking about 58 points of a 35,000-point index in the Russell. Only negative by about 2 points right now. All right, let's just jump right into it. Some of the stocks that are making moves. We got earnings already out this morning, and we'll kick it off with, I want to kick it off with Tyson, the beef and poultry producer. $2.70 a share. Market was only looking for $1.62. Revenue above forecast as well. They got a boost from stronger consumer demand as well as restaurant openings. You got Tyson trading higher this morning on their numbers. TSN is the symbol. There's your pop. You close on Friday at about 71. We're trading at 73.30 this morning. I believe they upped their guidance as well to the tune of about $1 billion, $2 billion above maybe the expectation. You take a look on the weekly in terms of Tyson. We make it up in May to about $78, not quite back to where we were prior to COVID. You were pushing levels of about $90 coming in January of 20. This is a weekly chart I got here of Tyson. You trade down to 42.57. We're all familiar with the plant closures, et cetera, that Tyson dealt with in the beginning of the COVID pandemic. Right now, I believe they had come out previously. Excuse me one second. There we go. They got audio in the den finally, I believe. They are now requiring vaccinations to prevent the same exact thing happening, folks, in terms of warehouses getting shut down, et cetera, of the likes. All right, let's keep jumping around, see what else we got. It is earnings season in a big way, folks. It is still happening. We'll jump around now. This isn't earnings, but we're staying with poultry. Sanderson Farms. They are being acquired for $4.5 billion or $203 a share by Cargill. All cash deal. It's 11.3% premium over on Friday. Now you jump over to Sanderson Farms, SAFM. They got some good chicken. I've eaten plenty of their stuff before now. So they're selling at $203. Not bad for Cargill in terms of above the market price right now. You look at where they're trading at. They're at $182. You were just trading at $195. Taking a look at this entire thing, up to $195, you're trading at $182, and they're back to $195 this morning. Now, interesting, right? You got $195 as the trade. You spike to $199. The price they're paying is $203, which basically means the market not pricing in just yet that is guaranteed to happen. I mean, you got a buyout there for all cash, and you're only trading $13 above where the market closed at, and you're a solid $8 off of where they agreed to buy it, right? So imagine that. You had a $13 appreciation over the close of Friday, but you're still $8 away from the price that they agreed to pay for it. That means there's substantial volatility maybe priced in that this might not be done just yet, especially at that price. Nonetheless, you get Sanderson Farms trading higher on that deal this morning. So Tesla, they're a little bit higher in the pre-market. They get an upgrade from Jefferies to a buy from a hold. The firm feels is more efficient capital deployment and improved ability to auto manufacturers to increase profit margins over time. Taking a look at Tesla, TSLA. Tesla shares getting a little bit of a pop from 700 to 710. As we all know, $10 on Tesla. Man, we can lose that or gain that in a blink of an eye. But Tesla catching a bid with a new rating from Jefferies over there. Continuing down the line, Norwegian. So federal judge over the weekend ruling that they can ask passengers for proof of COVID-19 vaccinations. They have a cruise, I think, going out Sunday. So here's the article. Let's see. This one is from yesterday. Where's their first flight? Flight. Their first cruise. I believe it's happening on Sunday. Yes, Sunday. No, that was the one. So I think it's a week from. Yes, depart from Monday, August 15th. Yes, so next Sunday they get their first U.S. cruise line departing. I tell you, folks, from Florida, being in Florida, we get schools starting tomorrow, folks. The school closest to me that I have kids in my household going to had shut down over the weekend. Before schools even started, they had to shut those schools down because of COVID spreading among teachers as they came back. Not what you want to see, folks. The mask mandate that DeSantis will not allow. Sad deal going on there in terms of kids getting back. You want them to get back. They got to go back to school. You want them to be able to do it safely as well. So hopefully they can do that as schools kick off in Florida tomorrow. Stay tuned, folks. We got a lot to talk about. We'll be right back.
Golden ratios give shape to everything in our world, represented in the Fibonacci sequence. These special numbers define the patterns that make up our universe. Not even markets can escape the omnipotence of these ratios. Larry Pesavento is a 45-year market veteran who has published nearly a dozen books on the powerful patterns we find in nature and their relationships with the ever-elusive markets. Larry's newsletter, Fibonacci 24/7, will teach you to harness the power of these natural golden ratios in order to create successful trades. Fibonacci 24/7 is designed to teach the tools you need to identify and act on these undeniable and reoccurring patterns. Sign up for Larry's newsletter, Fibonacci 24/7, and you will also receive free access to his trading webinar, Trading Strong Trending Markets. Try out Larry's newsletter risk-free. All of TFNN's newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&P is negative by 3 points right now. NASDAQ positive by 11. So getting back into it, folks, just to cover it, because this is part of what's holding the economy back, folks. All right. I'm a parent that has kids in the household. One of them is going to be starting pre-K coming up. They're going to a school that couldn't even stay open, folks, over the weekend, as they had 8 teachers testing positive for COVID. If you want this economy and you want kids to be back in school, folks, schools can't even stay open right now in Florida before they even start. COVID is spreading so fast. And you can't just say that we just got to make it happen, because unfortunately you combine that with the fact we have hospitals reaching max capacity around the area. It's just not going to happen, folks. Now, unfortunately this gets political, but I'm going to bring it from a Republican himself, folks. Bill Cassidy, a Louisiana Republican, okay? A doctor himself. And this is where I just don't understand what's going on here, all right? What happened to, localities and Republicans believing in whether it's, local governments doing what's best for the constituents? And he sums it up as best as I could, folks. Local officials should have control here when it comes to local conditions. If my hospital is full, my vaccination rate is low, and infection rates are going crazy, surmises, okay, a lot of Florida that we're dealing with, we should allow local officials to make those decisions best for the community. Kids have to go back to school, period, okay? The only way that's going to happen, folks, if you do it safely. If the governor doesn't even allow localities to have kids wearing masks in a school that can't even stay open before they even show up, it's a recipe for disaster, folks. The kids are going back. It has to happen. But I encourage you to think about that one, because I don't know how we square in our own minds if you think that the governor can just tell everybody in the locality, local school districts, to do this stuff. I mean, it's going to go to the courts. We'll see what happens. But it's a bummer in a big way, folks, because I'm living it right now. We got schools shut down before they even start. We got kids starting school at a time when hospitalizations are almost at max capacity. Not a good recipe, because if things just start spreading, you're going to see those schools shut down. That's the key here. Kids got to be in school. All right. And right now, with cases where they are in Florida, we're talking about 24,000 cases a day in Florida almost. And the governor won't even allow a local school district, okay, to put in masks. It's unfortunate. And unless it changes, you're going to see the carnage. You are. There's no way around it. Said my piece, and people say, stick to stocks. Folks, if you don't think this applies to stocks, if you don't think parents are going to be hurt by schools getting shut down yet again because they're not able to provide safe habits for their kids in there, that is going to be a problem. When schools get shut down, parents have to take care of the kids yet again. They can't go to work. they can't be an employee. It all ties in together. So I don't want to hear, don't talk about, this stuff, stick to the markets. Because if you think that this isn't tied into the market, you got another thing coming, folks, in a big way. All right, let's jump down back to the stocks that are making moves this morning in terms of equities coming out with news. We'll continue down the line. So Victoria's Secret, this one, JP Morgan initiating coverage. So you had Victoria's Secret and you had Bath and Body Works. I always have to pause. Bed Bath & Beyond, Bath and Body Works. They split. They spun off Victoria's Secret. You got two different companies now. Victoria's Secret, you back things up. You're talking about they only spun that off last week, okay? I think it was last Tuesday that they spun off. A little bit of volatility as the market figures out where they want to be, all right? You push it open at about 47. You trade up to 64. Now, I have some Victoria's Secret from having some Bath and Body Works. What are they going to be? BB, I'm trying to think of the other symbol. I'll pull it up. Let's see if I can get it worked. Yeah, BBW maybe? Bath and Body, BBWI maybe. Whoops, BBWI. Yes, so this is the Bath and Body Works. These two spun off, all right? So you see a little divergence here, which is interesting, right? This stock, you had it up to about 66. You pair some of the gains, Victoria's Secret, which is now trading under the symbol VSCO. Now, you look at the capitalizations of these, which is interesting, okay? These were one company. You got Victoria's Secret. They're coming in at about a $5 billion market capitalizations. What did I just say? BBWI. And you have Bath and Body Works representing of that company about $16 billion. So about 3/4 of the company valuation-wise going to Bath and Body Works. Victoria's Secret, you're only talking about a $5 billion company, give or take. Now, I stress it over and over because I agree with what JP Morgan is talking about here. They initiated coverage of Victoria's Secret. They got an overweight rating, noting its dominant market position in lingerie and nightwear and expansion opportunities in swimwear. Now, the reason why I was in this going back, and it's unfortunate you can't pull up the chart of Bath & Body Works prior to this when it encompassed the two companies. I mean, sometimes folks, brands themselves, Victoria's Secret's been pummeled in a big way. I mean, they were just losing money. They had too much expenses, et cetera, the likes. But you got a brand in Victoria's Secret that is unparalleled in terms of the brand awareness on some of the almost global spectrum, right? In the age of direct-to-consumer business, that's a brand that has extreme potential, folks. When you go on to social media, if you're on Facebook or you're on Instagram, I mean, how many ads do you see that have to do with selling shorts, selling T-shirts, selling joggers, right? From some pretty solid brands that are up and coming. But I imagine that's a real opportunity for Victoria's Secret to be direct consumer and a brand that has pretty good brand awareness, to put it lightly. So JP Morgan joining the party over there, putting them with a lift in terms of initiating coverage. They trade higher to 60. You're back a bit. You're still up about $1, though, almost, for Victoria's Secret coming into their open. And as we continue, the market creeping up, 44.26 in the S&Ps right now. NASDAQ up about 14 points, 15,100. Russell negative by a bit. Jumping back to Bitcoin, still about 45,000. And let's take a look at those commodities again. It's been quite a run. You got crude catching a little bit of a bid. Even in the last few minutes, we're up to 66.45. Going to be an interesting day for gold and those gold bugs, folks. Last Wednesday, we were up to 18.35. Woof, make it down to 16.77 overnight. We're trading at 17.43 right now. Gold, we'll see where that trades on the open. And let's jump to notes and bonds, an important one as well. Kind of just hanging right now at about 1.28%, the yield on that 10-year. All right, jumping around to other stocks we got going on. You got some of the oil companies under pressure as oil prices fade, as we had talked about. Let's jump around. Maybe it's Exxon, Chevron, the likes. I mean, oil. So much for $75, right? We're dealing with almost $65 right now in oil. You're trading at Exxon down to $57.20. Chevron, CVX down a bit to $101.10. Nothing too dramatic there for the oil companies. Dollar Tree gets a downgrade to a hold from a buy at Deutsche Bank. Expressed concerns about the impact of increased freight and labor cost on profit margins. Dollar Tree, DLTR is their symbol. Talking about margins might be a problem. Margins, very important when you're selling products for $1. I kid, but yeah, 97.60 down from almost 99 bucks on the close of action on Friday. Continuing the trend, see what else we got going on. Excuse me. Berkshire, that's what I wanted to talk about. So they're a little bit higher this morning. So they got their own article up here. I believe I had it up. We'll just jump to here. Operating earnings jumped 21% as recovering economy boosts railroad and energy units. We'll see if that holds. Energy taking a little bit of a hit over the weekend. But operating earnings of $6.69 billion in the second quarter. That's up 21% from a year ago. Year ago numbers, not really useful, as I often mention. Overall earnings, which reflect Berkshire's fluctuating equity investments, increased 6.8% year over year. So they have operating earnings and they have overall earnings in there. Big numbers there, though. BRK, we'll finish it up as we come in. BRKB, and there's your pop. We trade higher Friday into their weekend numbers, and you're going to be up by about $2 coming in. Berkshire delivering for their
Are you having fun trading the markets, but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets open, and we got markets trading higher on the open. The S&P's rising. We're basically flat right now to the tick, trading at 44.29, and there you go. Give it a moment. We got a positive S&P at 44.30. You get the NASDAQ 100 up about 34 points, 15,128. Dow negative by just 29 points. All the markets kind of catching a bid. Russell actually pulling back, a little bit of a divergence there. Bitcoin holding steady at about 46,000 on Bitcoin. You got crude catching a little bit of a bid over about the last hour. We're trading at 66.56 right now. We take a look as we continue. We got to jump to gold, see how we're trading on the open. Gold trading at 17.44 right now. And we jump to silver right now, trading down 47 cents. Gold and silver rebounding from that flash low we had overnight. And notes and bonds right now sitting with a yield of about 1.28% on that 10-year. You got the 10-year positive by 3 ticks, trading at 134.03. All right, we got a question in the den. Channel lines on the GDX from August of 2020. All right, let's take a look here. We'll pull up the GDX, talking about gold. You're talking about the GDA. Let's take a look. We're going to go back to August of 2020. All right, we got to back it up a little bit further than that then. We'll put it on a 3-year weekly to get the full run. And where are we looking here? Yeah, we're looking at basically from the run we had, the GDX, up to 45.78. So it's interesting here. I got this on my chart already on the GDX. You know, you had quite a run from the COVID lows, we'll call it 16.18. You spiked to 45.78. You do an exact 50% retracement. That brings us down to about $30.87. From there, we do accelerate a bit. Now, I'm going to take this line off here a bit. Now, so we're talking about channel lines, okay? Now, first thing I'm going to do real quick here, because I just want to see myself. We got a Fibonacci number up here. How big was this bounce, okay? Exactly a 618. Okay, of that. Something to keep your eye on there in terms of where we are, and we have traded decisively lower from that 618 exactly. Fibonacci trends work both ways, folks, in terms of up and down. You see the move that we have there in terms of trading from 45 to 78. You trade down to 30. You do get a bounce all the way to 40, but that's only a 618 retracement, almost to the tick, right? Almost to the tick. 40.11, that retracement, you trade up, and then since then we've fallen out of bed. Now that brings us, this is a weekly, so that's talking about since about May 31st. We have traded lower. We're going to clear that off now, and we're going to take a look at those trend lines. We're going to zoom it in on the August action. I'm going to give myself a trend line here, see where we're looking at. I mean, trend lines, folks, an art, not a science. Let's match up these highs and see where we're trading at. I mean, right out of the gate, you know, it is nice having 2 data points, but when I look for a channel line, I mean, this is a nice channel line we had on the downward way, right? You got a series of higher highs and higher lows that match up pretty well. Once you do break above that level, you accelerate higher. That's a nice clean channel line for myself, okay? Now, when I'm looking at a channel line since then, you'd have to line it up to the highs here. Okay, let me slide that over. Whoops, I got to put it in the chart. That would help. That's our top boundary. And to find a parallel line on this channel, I'm not quite sure I can find it. I'm going to activate the bottom line I got going on here, right? Where do we line up? That would be a parallel line. Well, that's not really going to work because we cut out so much of the action from November to March. If you drop it down, maybe we're going to get both sides of this to match the lows. Let's activate that again. Pull this over here. You could say maybe something like that. You could say maybe let's activate it again. Excuse me. You can see, I mean, not sure I see a channel line here just yet. Nothing that I'd be looking at too closely. Maybe that's kind of it. Not really like how it is. Either way, if you do draw, it's right in the middle of the action. I mean, something I would keep up my eye on here is that where we go from here in the gold contract. That was quite a move Sunday night. I woke up myself and was reading my dad's gold report this morning. I said, what did he say gold did last night? Check it out, folks, under the newsletter tab. My dad, outstanding newsletter. I think issue 1007. 1,007 weeks. My dad's been writing that gold report. He's got a new issue out this morning. Does have a new buy out there as well in the gold report. But he's talking about gold down to 1677. I mean, one of the things you see, hopefully, that's kind of a wipeout, okay, of all the people that are going to be selling. Maybe that wipes them all out. I mean, if you had a stop in place, folks, and you had a stop, I'm jumping to that gold contract real quick. Excuse me. I'm going to put it back on a 15-minute, right? You got to stop in the gold contract, right? You were trading at 1835 last week. Where's your stop? You got to stop at 1,500? You got to stop at 1,600? No, you probably got to stop somewhere in this mix. Maybe that's what drove this selling. Maybe it was hitting stops in there. I'm throwing maybe, folks, because we don't know. But anytime you get that type of dive, it could clean out that market. Maybe you start fresh. Maybe that is the start of it. But as I mentioned, you look at where we are in terms of the GDX, all right? Tying it back to the question here. Put it back on, let's put it on 5-year daily. We'll bring it back to the August trend we were talking about. You know, that bounced to a 618, as I talked about. This is something I look at a lot more in terms of being a little bit dicey in terms of, yeah, that's not a reversal of the trend, folks. You got a 618. Okay, the trend might be to negative prices here in gold still. All you did was bounce to a 618. All right, you get higher than that, it might be a trend reversal, but not quite yet. going to be an important one to see how gold trades off here. Now, you want to keep going even further? We'll go down the rabbit hole. Let's remove that one. Let's just go in terms of the move we just had, okay? From May 19th on the GDX, you were trading above 40. Let's see what kind of bounce we're dealing with here. Love Fibonacci numbers. Look at this, folks. All right, you're talking about 382. Yeah, that might just be a dead cat bounce, folks. All right, it just might. We'll see where we go. Now, you got the GDX back to where we're trading at in terms of June. You did spike up to 35.66, which is just a smaller trend line. But in terms of searching for that trend line, I would be looking for some bids in that gold contract in a big way after the demise that we've seen, especially over the last week or so, from 1835 down to 1677, and now back a bit. Yeah, and as you're saying, the chart still looks to me like downward pressure, and I would agree, man. There's not a lot of strength right now in this. Doesn't mean that today might not be, the end all of selling. But yeah, you need some strength in there, and to back things out yet again, to look for it. Nothing there on a channel line basis in terms of going back to August. There's just too much in terms of the lows. You're not getting a parallel line that matches up nicely. Now, you want to see a parallel line, folks. You want to talk about channel lines? There's your S&P. That is a decisive channel line. Look at the highs that match up. Look at the lows that match up. This goes back to November. I've pulled it up many times. We're sitting at 44.17. The lower boundary of this channel line, you're talking about 43.65 right now. Only about 50, 60 points from where we're trading at, but that still keeps it right in that upward channel line in the S&Ps. NASDAQ, I mean, this thing's been through the roof. Not really a defined channel line either, but S&Ps, it has been super clear in terms of the upper boundary, the lower boundary, and we've just been skipping to higher territory for the better part of going on like 10 months now. Excuse me. Okay. Let's jump around and see what else we got going on. We've talked about commodities. Let's take a look at some of the stocks that I like taking a look at. We got Disney shares. Disney trading a little bit, we'll call it flat this morning, 176.32. Now, Disney, they are going to be suffering as the Delta variant puts a little bit of a wrench, to put it lightly, folks. I mean, you're talking about whether it's Disney in Orlando has mask mandates for indoors now. Just being a person with family and kids, folks, there was a moment where the parents are vaccinated in the house. Maybe there's that opportunity to say things are going to be able to get back to normal. Maybe we go to Disney. Maybe the holidays are coming up. Man, Disney is so beautiful during Christmas time, right? They get so many beautiful lights. As a family that has vaccinations, folks, it's just not happening right now. Disney's going to pay the price, okay? They are not going to be filling that park with what's going on in Florida. California's its own deal as well. Movie theaters, I have seen a movie. I saw a movie in a movie theater about 6 weeks ago, something like that, as we thought we were kind of coming out of this thing. I ain't going to a movie anytime soon, folks, even as a vaccinated member of society. So you're going to see kind of the weight of that hanging on Disney, and you're seeing it right now at Disney. Solid almost $30 off the high. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. A little bit of volatility to kick off the week's trading. Check out that bar on the S&P. We jumped to 44.32 right out of the gate, and just like that, we've pulled back. I'm going to put it on a minute chart just to see the acceleration, just like that. We had basically 1 minute of positive action in the market, and at 9:31 a.m., we get a little bit of a sell-off. All things in context, we're negative by about 10 points right now in the S&Ps. You do have the NASDAQ 100, a little bit of volatility, and again, we're looking at minute charts. Kind of exacerbates and exaggerates things, but you can see the volatility we've had already out of the gate with the NASDAQ 100 trading down about 70 points from the highs. Dow losing it as well. We're up to almost 35,100. We're trading under 35,000 now at 34,975, and the Russell taking it as well, down 20 points pretty quickly in the last 15 minutes or so. Let's jump around and see what else we got going on. Got to keep our eye on commodities today. My goodness, you got crude down $2 at 66.20. The gold contract trading down about $20. Gold just kind of hanging at that 1740 to 1745 price point right now. And notes and bonds, we jump to, you got the 10 years sitting right. Now that's a minute. We'll put it back on a 15-minute just to see. Chopping around, we're sitting at about 1.28%, the yield on that 10-year. Okay, let's jump around and see what else we got going on in the markets. In terms of the stocks and news, what was I going to jump to next? Roku, there we go. So Quibi, if you recall, Quibi was the fantastic disaster that came about from Jeffrey Katzenberg and the likes trying to launch a short original content production house, spent billions of dollars, lost billions of dollars. Roku acquired the rights to more than 75 shows from Quibi. It debuted 30 of those shows in May. Roku, man, this thing's been a rocket ship. Talk about a rocket ship in a big way, right? Now, yeah, they've had some problems in terms of they dropped a little bit on their earnings on Wednesday. I say a little bit. The only reason I say a little is because in context of where we've been, you look at the lows of COVID, you were trading at about $50. You put this thing on a Fibonacci, talk about a trend. You go from 50 to almost 500. You back off right to a 50%. Since then, you make a new all-time high coming into their earnings last week. Almost plus 500. We're back this morning a bit. But that's a strong business plan from them, folks. I can tell you my own house, just anecdotal. I got like 4 Rokus in my house. We run everything through a Roku. And you know, I don't pay them beyond what I paid for my Rokus initially. But man, when you start to see when you're in there how much they control in terms of advertising, they're showing you whether it's Disney, they're showing you Netflix, right? They're showing you Prime, they're showing you different movies out there, the amount of data that they're going to own by being the streaming partner that you're accessing streaming platforms through. Doesn't mean this thing can't pull back, you know, chasing this thing from 50 up to 500, but it's a strong business plan. When they start acquiring content, originals, they're going to add another 23 shows to its collection of originals as it tries to build on its ad-supported content strategy. Now, the cool part here is that I have never once, I don't think, went over to the Roku channel on the Roku. Only because I pay for so many services on top of it, right? You got Amazon Prime, you got Netflix, What else we got? HBO Max in the house. And you got Apple, which I get for free for having a new iPhone, I think, in the last year or so. So I got a ton, along with having Spectrum in the house, of course. TV rots your brains, folks. I say it, and I don't even exaggerate. Get the TV out of there. I want to cut some of those out of my household. A lot of them used for kids in the household as well. But I haven't even used that channel. And when you think about it, really remarkable that I have an amazing channel of free content, and I'm just paying for so much I don't use it. I imagine at some point, though, people who maybe aren't willing to pay as much as I am when you add up all those services, and I'm almost being frustrated as well. I mean, the point was you're supposed to cut the cable and cut the cord and save money, right? Well, I kind of cut the cord because I don't have a cable box anymore. I'm paying for a trimmed down version of Spectrum. It's like $50 or $60 a month, okay, because there's no cable boxes. There's none of that in the household. So you got none of those recurring monthly revenue streams for Spectrum. But I have Spectrum, and as I just walked you through, I got Netflix, I got Prime, I got Disney, I don't think I mentioned, I got HBO, and I have Apple along with Spectrum. That's just ridiculous as I listed through. It's making myself a little worrisome about it. But nonetheless, you look to it, Roku, strong business plan there, folks. Doesn't mean you might want to be stepping in here, but in the long haul, you look at the company. I mean, we're pushing some pretty lofty valuations, though, at about $53 billion market capitalization right now. And where's the money come from, folks? Ads and commissions. They ain't making it from devices, folks. 2% of the market capitalization is for selling devices. Okay, 95%. Now, this is just the Thinkorswim calculation. Not even sure how they make these numbers. Not sure if they make sense. But I bet it's pretty much right in the ballpark of what they're making their money for and what the multiples of this company are priced on. And that is the ability to sell ads to consumers. That's the ability to monetize the data that they control in a big way. Let's jump around to some of the other streamers. So, the Olympics wrapping up, CMCSA, Comcast. Look at this acceleration, right? You're down a bit. That's a weekly chart. You put it back on a daily in the 5 years. We're going to run. You run basically, I mean, this year you started at $50. You're already up about 16%, 17% for the year. You zoom in on the closer action, Comcast. Now, this has been a strong company. It will be a strong company. Interesting business plan that they go with. They go with Peacock. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what they come out in terms of what the Olympics did for them. I'll give you, again, my anecdotal, all right? I downloaded Peacock. I think the app was already maybe in my Roku. I set up a Peacock account, so they're going to include me in their earnings as having an account. Never paid for anything, just a free account, gave them my email address. And actually, where they missed the opportunity here is, as somebody who loves the Olympics, myself, I signed up for it thinking, hey, maybe I'll get access, maybe during the day I can stream some of the live events that are going on. Maybe I can stream some of the events that I missed that aren't going to be displayed on prime time, or maybe they're not going to be on the USA Network, etc. I did not watch a single thing on Peacock. That was quite an opportunity for Comcast to try and bring me into their ecosystem. I am an Olympics lover, okay? I got plenty of content that I like to go after. I signed up for their service, and they couldn't quite get me to start watching anything on Peacock. And that might have been their best opportunity, because I just went through the amount of streaming platforms that they have to compete with. And I had no plans of paying. Now, maybe I would have if there was some type of Olympic event that I really wanted to watch. It was going to be streamed live. Maybe I would have. Maybe I would have signed up for 1 month. But when I think about it, if I wasn't going to watch anything over the last 2 weeks on Peacock, where they just had endless Olympic coverage, which I love, am I really going to be watching anything anytime soon? And did they really miss an opportunity there to get me at least acquainted with their app in some capacity, which they didn't do? And I don't imagine I'll be in there anytime soon in the future. Doesn't mean the stock's not going to be a good stock in the future, but I think that was a missed opportunity, at least on my own front, and I wonder how that's going to transition for some of the other customers out there that have maybe considered signing up for Peacock. It is a cool business plan, right, where you got a free service. They're going to capitalize on the ads, probably realize that it's very difficult to compete with the likes of Netflix, HBO, Apple, Disney, where you're charging basically a premium service on a monthly basis. Comcast up to about $58.20 right now. Down 0.8% today, but you look at the chart, and this thing, 5-year weekly, strong chart in a big way as you're pushing all-time highs basically on Comcast. Is that all-time highs too? It sure is. Look at that chart. My goodness. You go back to 2010, you're trading at $10. You're trading almost $60 right now on Comcast shares. All right. Now, let's jump around as we do it. We'll jump back. We're going to come back and check out some of those streaming stocks. Let's see. We got Disney backing off a bit with the market. We got the S&P down about 5 points right now. Amazon, they got Prime going on. They're down about 0.1%. We'll take a look at some of the other companies when we get back as well. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back to finish up the show.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We the S&P's -7 right now. NASDAQ, don't count that NASDAQ out. NASDAQ 100 back in the positive by 23 points at 15,116. We'll take a look at gold. Those gold bugs are going to be watching that gold contract today. Gold down $21 at 1741 this morning. We'll jump to Bitcoin. Bitcoin having quite a bid. Bitcoin having about 45,000. A little bit of a sell-off in the last few minutes for Bitcoin. And, folks, I'm going to bring it back to schools, because schools start tomorrow. Okay, I'll be in here tomorrow. We're going to be dropping the kids off tomorrow morning. An editorial out there from Michael Bloomberg this morning. Schools should be the number one priority, folks. They should. Number one priority. Kids got to get back into school. Some of the statistics they have in here. And as they mentioned, most parents won't be surprised by these findings. Okay, folks? Kids are suffering. All right, you can't just kick them out of school for a year or two. In fact, think that everything's going to be there. McKinsey & Company analyzed data for 1.6 million elementary school kids in the U.S., found that on average they were 5 months behind in math, 4 months behind in reading. Hardest hit were kids from low-income districts, as well as predominantly Black and Hispanic ones. The authors warned that unfinished learning could impede future academic progress and depress wages far into adulthood. Many studies, folks, point to early education, so indicative of where you go in life. In terms of you fall behind early in life, it's going to stay with you, unfortunately, most times, because it's very difficult to catch up. We got a lot of listeners in Florida, folks. I encourage people to put some pressure on this governor because it's unfortunate when you look at the mask mandates going on and how we can't even at a local level allow localities to get that done. And that's just life, folks. And unfortunately, if those cases spread, schools are going to shut down. And so this isn't political. You want the kids back in school, you got to do it safely, folks. Period. End of sentence. And we'll end the show there. All right, S&P is minus by 6. We got the NASDAQ positive by 19. Let's take a look at the VIX as we come into Monday trading. The VIX trading at 1716 this morning. We'll see where we go, folks. Going to be an interesting one in the markets, to say the least. We got some inflationary data coming out this week. We got CPI and PPI data out tomorrow and Wednesday. We got job openings coming up at 10 o'clock in the next few minutes as well. Stay tuned. You're going to have a man, Basil Chapman, coming up with the Tiger Technicians Hour at 10. Fast Market at 11. Larry Pesavento live at 12. Of course, Steve Rhodes live at 1 o'clock. Dave White live at 2. Tom O'Brien, my dad, live to wrap things up from 3 till 4 today. Stay tuned, folks. Basil's coming up next. Thanks for starting your day with me.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They